there, welcome back to Simplilearn's YouTube channel. Today, we are diving into the world of responsive design, what it is, why it's essential, and how you can master it using Figma. Responsive design ensures your layouts look great and work perfectly on any device, whether it's a desktop, tablet, or smartphone. Imagine opening a website that looks perfect on your laptop, but is tiny and hard to navigate on your phone. Not a great experience, right? That's where responsive design saves the day, creating seamless experiences across devices. And Figma makes it super easy. With tools like auto layout and constraints, you can design elements that adjust dynamically to fit any screen size. So in this video, I will show you how to make your designs responsive across different devices. Plus, we'll explore an amazing plugin called Breakpoints, which helps you preview how your designs will look at different screen sizes right inside Figma. But before that, here's a quick info for you. You can unlock your potential with Simplilearn's advanced certification in UI/UX design and dive into the world of user-centered design. This comprehensive course covers essential skills like wireframing, prototyping, usability testing, and mastering industry-leading tools such as Sketch, Figma, and Adobe XD. A Gen AI-powered UI/UX design course focused on practical learning. So whether you're an aspiring designer, a developer looking to expand your skill set, or someone transitioning into the UI/UX field, this program offers hands-on experience, real-world projects, and expert guidance from industry professionals. Enroll today to begin your journey towards a successful career in UI/UX design with Simplilearn's globally recognized certification. You can find the course link in the description box and pinned comments. Okay, so first let's create a frame. For that, press F on your keyboard and create a frame. So basically we are starting with desktop device frame. So usually desktop device is given width of 1440 pixels while designing. So let's give a width of 1440. So let's just zoom in a bit so that we can work properly. So this is the frame and these are my components. Okay. So the first thing is, as you can see, let me just rename this as desktop, the frame as desktop. So as you can see, these elements are not arranged properly. So let's just arrange these elements using grids. So I've already talked about grids earlier in few of my videos. So for that, we'll just select this frame. Below there's a grid layout. Let's select that. I need a columns grid. Let's keep the margin 64 and a gutter of 24. Yeah, I need 12 columns. Yes. Okay. Now this next thing is to ungroup all the elements. So the very first step, before you arrange the elements in a grid or for making it responsive, the very first step is to ungroup each and every element in your frame, as we would have to alter the measurements, constraints, etc. of each of the element while working. And then we'll group only the necessary elements. So let's just ungroup everything. Now for ungrouping, you have to, press the group, select the group, and press Ctrl+Shift+G on your keyboard. Ctrl+Shift+G. Now, as you can see, there are two groups. Let's ungroup this as well. So as you can see, these are the, ungrouped elements. So all these are ungrouped. Let me just check it. Yes. Now here we have an image plus text. Let's ungroup that too. Yes, we have ungrouped everything. Now let me just arrange. Now basically I want this language to be here, sign up option here, and login over here. Let these stay in the middle. Now I want the company logo or name towards the left. So the header is aligned. Now I want these texts to be aligned to the leftmost grid. Yes, and I think the image is fine. So once this is done, once you have done the basic arrangement using the grid, you can either disable the grid or, just remove the grid. So I'll just remove the grid over here. Yes. So as you can see here, I'll just move the frame for you. So as you can see, while I move the frame, the elements stay in the fixed positions and are not at all responsive. And here we have come to make this responsive. So let's start working with it. So first, let's start working with the header. So basically, I want the logo or the company name to stay in the left top. These four elements, which are destinations, hotels, flights, and bookings, I want those to stay in the middle. And the other three, which is the login, sign up, and the language option, I want them to stay in the right top. So for that, you just have to select this element, go to this option in position. So sometimes your position toolbar will be like this. So there's a small option over here. This is the constraint option. So just press there. And here you can give the constraints. It's already given left and top. Now I want all these 4 elements to stay in the middle. So let's just select all the 4 and give auto layout. Now for that, for selecting each of the elements together, what you have to do is select along with pressing the shift key in your keyboard. So press the shift key, select each one of this, and then along with pressing shift key, press A. So shift plus A is a shortcut for auto layout. After that, you can go here and you can give center top. Now let me just see if it works. See, did you see the difference? So this is what it just states in the center top. Now let's do the same for my right side elements. So again, shift, press these elements, auto layout, and give the right option, right top constraints. So as you can see, our header has become totally responsive. Pretty cool, right? So as you can see, we haven't done much here. It is quite simple. You just had to, auto lay out the required elements and give respective constraints. So now let's move on to the content. Now as you can see, the content contains some text and a picture. So let's work with the texts first. So first select each of the text fields using shift key as told earlier. Press it using shift key and give auto layout. Now I'll just show this. As you can see, giving auto layout alone won't work. So let's go to constraints over here and give the scale option. And let's just keep this to center. Just a second. Because our content is in center, let's just put to center. As you can see, it has become responsive. So now there are 2 points to consider at this particular stage. The first is to make sure that you have given field for each of the text field. Like for example, let me select this field. For example, just a second. I selected this field. So as you can see here in the layout section, the width is filled. Here you have 3 options: fixed width, hug contents, and fill container. So sometimes by default, it might be in the width or in the hug contents. For example, it's in the fixed width, for example. It won't change. It is responsive, but still by the time it comes here, it will cut because you have given a fixed width for that. The same thing happens when you give the hug contents also. So always make sure that you give fill container. As you can see here, we had not given fill container. It was fixed width. So let's give fill container. Now also I've seen that many people face issues of not finding the fill option. While working with a particular element, some people struggle in finding the fill option. And that is because you haven't given auto layout. So you have to auto layout each element for the fill option to appear. So please keep that in mind. Now also the second point is that do not forget to give spacing in between. So for example, here if you go in auto layout, you have the spacing option. So sometimes it might be in the auto option. As you can see here, you have the auto option. So if it's in the auto option, what happens is, as you can see, everything overlaps. The first text box, the second text box, the third text box, it doesn't push the other elements, it just overlaps. So for that, you have to make sure that you have given a fixed spacing between them. So it can be any spacing, you can just, change these numbers. So make sure of that too. So now that our texts are responsive, the next step is to make this image responsive. As you see, the image still stays there. So again, for the image, let's just give scale and see what happens. Okay, now here, as you can see, it actually scales, but it cuts the image. I'll just zoom and show you. See, while I'm expanding the frame, the image just gets cut. And while I'm decreasing the frame, this particular side of the image gets cut. Now that is because this might be in the fill option, this particular. So you just have to double tap the image and here you will find the image. Okay, in the fill option, you'll find the image. So here, instead of fill, make sure that you give fit option. So it must be in the fit option. So now as you can see, there's no problem with the image. It scales perfectly. So that was it. Our desktop has become responsive. Let's just maintain the width. Yes. Now let's move on to tablet. So for that, first duplicate the desktop frame. So for duplicating, you just have to press the frame and go to Control D. So this is the duplicated frame. Let's just rename this to tablet. Yeah. Now let's give a resolution of 770 for tablet. Now again, these are not, cut and hard, measurements. Yeah. So as you can see, this is responsive. Just a second, let me just, increase the size. Yeah, this is responsive. But as you can see, there is so many alignment issues. And this is very obvious because as you might have seen, the websites you use have different layouts and different devices, right? And are also of different fonts. So first, let's change the layout completely because we can't keep the same layout for desktop as well as tablet. So the first thing is I don't want these many options in my header. So let me just, delete these. Yeah, so I just want the company name and maybe a small menu option. So right now I'll just give a small rectangle for the menu option. Or let me just fill it with black color. Okay. Now I want this to stay on the top right side. So let's just give constraints. Right. So as you can see, it has become responsive. Now again, we need grids to align this properly. So let's go to layout grid. We need columns. So maybe for tablet, I'll take 8 grid with a margin of 32 and a gutter of 20. This is fine. Now let me just, just a second. I'll just zoom in a bit. Yeah. Let me just rearrange these. Reframe this here. Okay, now basically in this tablet layout, I want the text to appear first and the image beneath it. So let me just, select this and bring it up. I'll just expand this. I want to expand the whole thing. Just a second. Yeah. I'll just expand this. Bring it somewhere over here. We will work with picture afterwards. Let's first arrange these. So I want to constrain this to the middle boxes. So we have constrained it. Now as you can see in desktop, I have given a left alignment for the text, but here I want it aligned. I want it center aligned. So I'll just select each of the text and give center alignment. Like the button, let it stay over there. And as you can see, the font size is too big. I mean, we are supposed to change the font size of everything. But for now, let's just change this because this looks really big. So maybe we'll just give something like 70. Yeah, I think this is fine. Now let's just check the responsiveness. Now first, we'll also, fix the image and then we'll check for responsiveness. Yes, I think the image is fine. Now let me just remove the grid. Yeah. So as you can see, this is responsive. Now the same goes for mobile as well. So for that, again, let's just duplicate the tablet frame. Control D. Rename it as mobile. Now here we'll just give a pixel of 480. Width for 480 pixel. Again, there are some changes to be made. As you can see, it is responsive, but yeah, there are some changes to be made. Again, you can use the grid and just, maybe we can just, expand this a bit. We can maybe zoom the image. And yeah, as you can see, this is also responsive. So as mentioned earlier, make sure that you also change the fonts for each of the devices accordingly. Now, there are no cut and hard rules as said in the desktop resolution. You have to have a font size of this range or anything like that because it purely depends on your design, the number of images or what you want to highlight on your website or design. So this is it. We have made responsive designs for desktop, tablet and mobile. Now we'll be talking about breakpoints. So basically Breakpoint, it is a plugin in Figma and it is a game changer for responsive designs. So it helps you visualize how your layouts adapt across different screen sizes without the hassle of creating multiple frames. So with this plugin, you can set custom breakpoints for various devices like mobile, tablet and desktop and see how your design adjusts dynamically as the screen size changes. So it's basically perfect for fine-tuning responsiveness and ensuring your designs look flawless on every device. So the first step is, of course, to create, separate frames for responsiveness. But then, for example, if you want to present this somewhere or if you want to show this to somewhere, it's 3 different frames. So now using the Breakpoint plugin, you can actually, set it into one frame and just by changing the resolution of the frame, it actually changes the alignment along with it, like how we have designed. So I'll just show you how it's done so that you get a clear clarity on it. So for that, there's an option over here. You can go there. You have plugins and widgets. Go over there and this breakpoints, this is the plugin's name. Select it. So as you can see, there is select existing layout or create a new one. So here we'll create a new adaptive layout. So let me just a second. Okay. So as you can see, these numbers are the breakpoints. So breakpoints means it's basically the range, from this range to this range, my design should look in a particular way. And from this range to this range, my design should look in a particular way. So let's just give this plus sign. So right now we have 3 devices, right? So we need 3 plus signs. So this is for one device, this is for another device, and this is for the third device. Okay. So here I will give the constraint of this, like desktop we had used 1440 pixels. So I'll give 1440. Yeah. And here I'll give the resolution of tablet, which was 770. And here I'll give the resolution of mobile, which was 480. I'll just increase the size. Yeah. So now we are supposed to give layouts or select layout. So in this plus sign, they have told to select the frame used as a master layout for 320 to 479. So 320 to 479 is our range for mobile. So you just have to select the frame. So as you can see, when you select the frame, it actually, this breakpoints converts the frame into a component. So this is the component symbol. So we have discussed about components and everything in our previous videos. Here we can select the frame for tablet because this is the range for tablet. And here we'll select the frame for desktop. So as you can see, the breakpoint has created a single frame. Now this is the scale. I'll just zoom in. So this is the scale for which from 770 to 440 we'll be having a particular design. From 480 to 770 we'll be having a particular design, and from here to 480 we'll be having a particular design. So let's just see how this works. So as you can see, while I change the resolution, it automatically changes to my tablet version. Did you see that? This automatically changed to the mobile version. So this is pretty cool. So this is what I told, that you'll get everything in a single frame. Because here we have 3 separate frames. For example, if I did this, it's not going anywhere, right? It's not changing into a tablet design or a mobile design. But here in a single frame, if I want to present it to someone, I can just say like from 770 to 440, this would be the design for desktop. From 770, this is for the tablet version. Yeah. And the design would be like this. And if it's less than 480, it's for the mobile version, and the design would be like this. So this was the use of Breakpoint plugin. So that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video helped you understand responsive design, how Figma makes it easier, and why the Breakpoint plugin is a must-have tool. So now it's your turn to start experimenting with these features and create designs that look amazing on any device. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more design tips, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover next. Take care and see you in the next video.
Staying ahead in your career requires continuous learning and upskilling. Whether you're a student aiming to learn today's top skills or a working professional looking to advance your career, we've got you covered. Explore our impressive catalog of certification programs in cutting-edge domains, including data science, cloud computing, cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, or digital marketing. Designed in collaboration with leading universities and top corporations, and delivered by industry experts, choose any of our programs and set yourself on the path to career success. Click the link in the description to know more.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.